little stiff. I need to do some hot yoga or something, man. Welcome back to another episode of IBTE Sports Podcast. We got your boy Lawrence, Kenny, and Phil. How we living? How we feeling, fellas? What's going on?
Wonderful. The GOAT did GOAT things last night. The other GOAT is about to win the second Super Bowl this weekend.
So he said he's here early.
Listen, everyone knows, if you've been following the show since September, everybody knows who my futures bet is on. I cannot deviate from the plan now.
Listen, you got to stay strong. What about you, Phil? How you feeling, man?
Pretty good. Went to New York City over the weekend. Went to a baby shower for my boy George. So shout out to him. And plus, even better news, the Lakers and Nets made some interesting moves. So great for Celtics fans. So absolutely tremendous. Here.
Man, I was gonna say for me, man.
Y'all still suck.
I feel good.
You better check the records.
We're gonna be transitioning to NBA after this weekend, so it's gonna be nice. Been watching a lot of basketball through the football season too, so I'm excited for that. We're gonna have Dante come in a little bit. He was on the podcast previously. He was on last season. He didn't come on this season, did he?
Correct.
Yeah,
correct.
So he's gonna be joining us in a little bit. But man, listen, make sure you like this video. Comment on this
Rick
video.
in there early.
Rick's in there
He said,
early.
"Don't start that shit, Kenny."
Hey, yeah, listen,
man, like
man,
I said, I gotta go where the money is.
And that was his, regular preseason pick as well. So gotta stay true to
listen, we're unbiased. We made sure we got a Philadelphia Eagle representative on the pod today. So don't worry.
But Rick still hasn't got on yet. That's just damn shame.
Yeah, Rick, come and join up, man. Actually, I'm about to, come and, text my phone so I can see you the invite, man. Seriously, but man, listen, we're gonna bring in Dante right now. He's in the lobby, so
You need to get some sound effects so we can have like the live audience. Yeah.
All right, going to the budget for that.
Yeah. Soundboard.
What's good, Dante? What's good, man?
Yo, what up, boys? How y'all doing?
Been a while.
Of course. I haven't joined at all this year.
Yeah, I know. How you feeling?
I feel amazing. I feel great. You know why? Because I'm back in the bowl, baby. My guys are back.
Y'all back, man.
No, but in all seriousness,
Kenny. Oh, that's him.
No, but in all seriousness, though, it's cool and it's nice to be back with you guys.
For sure, man. For sure. You always welcome back.
By the way,
one of the most.
By the way, y'all see it.
Now we see it. I was gonna say, what do y'all call it?
Phil, he got that green on. Shout out to Phil. He got that green on.
Oh man.
Low key a Birds fan.
Low key. Ooh.
He's got that on for Boston. That's why he got that green. But shit, man.
So how you fellas doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm excited for the game this weekend. I think it's gonna be electric. I'm hoping for greatness. There's a lot of storylines. There's the Andy Reid route. There's the Kels brothers. There's a lot going on. You got the mom bringing cookies, and like a mom is in the middle of media day at the Super Bowl, which is crazy in itself, bringing some chocolate chip cookies out there to her sons.
We got a confirmation if she's doing the coin toss?
They got a whole ass.
Seriously?
Yeah, they did. What's it called?
Oh, I didn't know that.
They got like mass signatures for it.
Wow,
yeah,
that would be crazy. That would be really crazy.
Yeah, I heard about it, but I haven't seen anything else being discussed or it ever being updated after that.
Where'd that come from? Just like general fans of football, Eagle side?
No, I think
Chief
it was
side?
brought up on the New Heights podcast by the brothers.
Yeah, and they started an online petition for it.
Okay, that's dope. I think that is gonna be the first for it. I still think it's gonna be crazy as hell to do, but
I think it'll be dope and different.
But I mean, it'd be cool.
Yeah.
real quick.
Also, big sporting event. We have to play some bets as well. So double excited.
I already placed mine. Mine's already placed in then.
All right, so we didn't have, as I said, we didn't have an Eagles fan. We had my boy Aaron. I played football with him at Bloom, and we had him on. What week was that? Probably like week 9, 10.
Whatever the week right before Baker Mayfield became the starter against the Raiders.
I think it was that was probably like week 10 or 11 or something. We had him come on there. The Eagles obviously was rolling at that point. Take us a little bit through the season. How was you feeling through the season? Because the last time we had spoke, I don't know if you was really a Hurts believer at that point too.
No,
That's kind of something I wanted to hear how you felt.
There was a point in time going back to last season, I didn't believe in Hurts, and you guys could say firsthand, I was advocate for Russell Wilson and Deshaun Watson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't believe in Hurts. I didn't think his talent was there. I thought, between the ears were there, but there's a difference between being nice in between the ears and being good on the field.
Right.
But even to go into the season, I wasn't a believer. I was a critique to every little thing going into the season. And being there week 2 against the Vikings, I saw everything live. I'm dinking, well, not dinking, sorry, that's not the proper wordage, but I'm sitting there critiquing every little thing that I seen. I'm like, I don't like this. Hurts is taking something down Neef when he had Devontae in the back of the end zone wide open. So it was the little things that I was, keeping an extra eye on. But as the season went on, it was like, what more can you complain about? You were undefeated going into the Washington game, which I think was a fluky game they lost.
Mm-hmm.
And
your audio's breaking up. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right. So, even against the game against Washington, I didn't have any complaints, but the game we lost, that being our first loss, it was a fluky game to me. I'm not
division games in Washington is not.
Yeah, it happens. And, you're not. I don't know many teams in the NFL being that good are gonna.
Oh, yeah, the wire again, bro.
They don't want to see you winning.
That's the ghost of Neil right there. He said, "Can't let no Eagles fans on here." Well, I'm not here.
Are you guys able to hear me again?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
and now it's gone.
Oh,
can you hear me?
It's gone. Oh, yeah. There you are. There's got to be a short then. Yeah.
Better. Okay, so but going deeper into the season.
Oh man, it keeps happening. Yeah.
Nope. So going into the season, not going into the season, but going deeper into the season, I still wasn't predicting Superbowl. I still wasn't. Those weren't my expectations, considering that there were still good teams in the NFC, and even though Tom Brady was still having a down year, Tom Brady's still Tom Brady. Those weren't my expectations. I didn't think Jalen was going to be able to defy those type of odds, and prove me wrong. I was wrong all the way around. I was wrong.
Rather you be proven wrong than right.
Yeah, and I think there's clear evidence of the birth of greatness within him, because you got everything he went through at Bama, then he goes to Oklahoma and he still lights it up. Like a lot of people, I know a lot of athletes. If you get pulled in the championship game, you're probably crushed. Your morale, everything.
Before he even goes to Oklahoma, remember Tua got hurt in the SEC championship game when Jalen was the backup and had to come in.
And he had to come in there too. Yeah.
But I'm glad you talked about Dante with Jalen, because I feel like I was the same way as you, and I'm still almost there. We're what else could I ask for from this guy? But I've been saying, just because the games have been so dominant, if it comes down to Jalen has to win it with his arm, I'm still not sold he can. It's not because I don't think he can. It's just I haven't seen it yet. It's like you said, well, what else could I ask for him? Because everything he's been asked to do this year, he has done.
Yeah.
But I just haven't seen him have to win it with his arm yet, and I'm not sure if he's going to need to yet.
Can I challenge you that with the game against the Packers?
Okay.
He threw for, I believe it was the week before, the Eagles ran for $150. I can't remember exactly against who. The following week, we got the Packers on that Sunday night game. He threw for $350. So
True.
Through the course of the year, the Eagles haven't been put in many situations to where they had to play catch up.
Right.
And we can all agree to that.
Right.
That's very true.
There's been times against the Packers, against the Jaguars, where they fell, well, against the Jaguars primarily and in particular, we fell down in an early lead. We fell down early. Jalen had the pick six, and he was able to he was able to get himself back into the game. The game against the Packers, we took an early lead, but Jonathan Gannon against good quarterbacks, it kills me. Against good quarterbacks, he likes to play this scheme where his backs are 10 yards off the ball, 10 yards off the field. So we were talking about Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is going to dink and doink his way down the field. He's going to tear that apart. The Packers came back within the snap of a finger. And it was kind of a back-and-forth game, you can say. Even when Rodgers went down, Love came in and had that, I believe, that 60-some-yard touchdown pass to Christian Watson. And he exploited the defense. But Jalen was still able to beat it with his arm. Now, I'm going to agree with you to a certain extent, Kenny, because do I see Jalen Hurts arm-wise top 10 or not say top 10, like a top 5 in the league? I can't put him up there with Mahomes or Rodgers or Herbert.
Josh Allen.
But he's able to do things with his
What's so funny?
Yeah, no, exactly.
I'm just naming quarterback, Lawrence. That's it.
Just
one.
I know what you're saying. Like, 'cause he hasn't had to do it with his arm because he's talented the other way.
Yeah.
So I'm not taking anything away from him. But like when you get to the Super Bowl, you got to start splitting hairs. So when you start looking for why am I picking the other
This
team?
has been the philosophy all year with the Eagles. We're gonna pass to take the lead, or we're gonna run to win the game.
Right.
And if you,
whichever team should do.
and
Right.
I'm not sure how much you guys really watch the Eagles on the week in and week out. You know, the same way I'm not sitting there watching the Saints, Patriots, and the Falcons week in and week out.
I hope not.
I don't think you guys are watching.
You always been saying you ain't missing
You're
nothing,
missing
man.
out a damn thing.
First 15 scripted plays,
Mhm.
at least 10, 11 of them are all passes.
Mm.
So Jalen Hurts is going to pass the ball early.
Yeah.
But with the time of possession, where that's going to come from is once we take that early 7-0, 10-0 lead, we're going to run the ball and we're going to kill the time and we're going to go into halftime with the lead. And, you know, whoever's getting the ball, at whatever point we get the ball back, we're just going to continue to milk the clock around the ball.
With
And
Miles Sanders. So.
That comes off the strength of having the best offensive line in the league.
Yeah, I think that's like as far as you bring up the beginning script, like if everybody that's played football, you know, once the coach they come in with a script, and one time I talked to my coach and he basically was like, "This is the script at the beginning of the game."
Oh, don't say script.
This is gonna pretty much dictate how we're gonna play this game. So if they come out and they stop the first 6 or 7, you gotta usually probably scrap those and then kind of adjust from there. So, and most teams haven't got y'all to deviate from the plan.
No.
And that's
one thing, though, I can say to the Eagles' standpoint and the Eagles' benefit is that Nick Sirianni last year was able to put his pride to the side and handle play call. And one thing with Sirianni was if we fell into an early deficit last year, he got off script. He, like the whole game plan he came into the game with, that's gone. There's no more let's run the ball. No, we're going to pass the ball 35 to 40 times with the receiving core of Devontae Smith, Jalen Reagor, Quez Watkins, and
JJ, our secret Whiteside.
JJ, yeah. You know, like that's not a game plan you really want to go with.
yeah. And now I think that's part of the growth too. Is last year was his first year, right?
As a full-time starter.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm talking about Sirianni.
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah. And Jalen's first time full-time.
So this is, and I felt like this year was very crucial to see the changes. Obviously, they got 9. I think it was 9 wins last season, but you see, they know what they're doing over there. They built the roster up. The roster's built to win now. They winning right now.
Can I correct you on that?
What's up?
We're built to win now and win later.
Oh,
later too.
They are. Look, they have a young quarterback. They have young
Jalen
receivers.
24.
Yeah.
Schmitty's 23, 24.
AJ Brown got at least 27.
AJ Brown, he's technically young. He just got his first contract.
Yeah.
Our entire team is young. The only place where we're aging is right tackle and center.
How old is Jason Kelsey?
Kelsey is 35.
Yeah, 35,
He was born in
36.
87.
Damn.
Yeah, he's 35, 36.
35,
something like
36, mid-30s. But the great part about that is he's having the best year of his career. It's like Kelsey's now entering the stage of, you know how players they have that 3-4 year window where they're at the prime of their career. It's like Kelsey hasn't lost a step yet.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if it's a Kelsey DNA or gene, but him and his brother, they haven't lost a step.
Yeah.
It's all the pizza they got fed when they were young.
Nah, and he's a super smart lineman too. Just blocking schemes and stuff too. So it's like, and then you got the great supporting cast around you. Makes it much easier.
Right.
You take less hits as an offensive lineman versus when there's a rookie that doesn't know what's going on and you taking extra hits when you don't have to.
Well,
So-
O-line is one of those positions, like, it's weird, but you could be old and play O-line and still be elite. Like Andrew Whitworth last year was as old as Tom Brady. He was one of the best left tackles in the league.
Yeah.
You saw Jason Peters, the Cowboys called him out of retirement. He came, like, it's a weird position where you could be old and it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, Jason Peters lost goosebumps with that.
Oh, he definitely did. You can't go from Philly to Dallas.
Hey, fam, gotta eat.
It's for the paycheck.
He said, sorry, daughter. I can't listen. The Cowboys offered you starving. You gonna have to starve because the Cowboys called him.
But where's he
That's it.
starving? My man took.
I'm just gonna say, under normal circumstances,
Yeah, I was about to say, he
agree
did
with
take
you,
a lot of- he did
but
take a
man
lot of
is
money.
a millionaire. Like, let's not act like he was working a minimum
No,
wage
because-
job.
He got a couple contracts.
He had a new
couple
script in the
of
mail.
them.
That's why.
He got the new script.
Mhm.
They say 4 more years.
Listen, Lawrence. Let me put it to you like this, right? You come across your first love, you in love, you know, y'all hit it off. Let's say y'all were together for 12 years, 7 to 12 years, y'all hit it off. Y'all agreed to go mutual ways, y'all entering different phases in life, where y'all just taking 2 different paths. 2 years later, she's with the man that you hate most.
Ooh.
How does that?
She left you for Phil, bro.
Wait, so hold on. So is
That
it
is
you
literally-
want therapy? You want therapy answer? Or
No, we
you
want
you
real life how you feel.
We want Lawrence.
Nah,
we want Lawrence Elliott
listen,
answer.
I will be listen. It is what it is. You move on. You move on. That's how I feel.
That sounds good. And
Go.
Because
PR
I'm not
approved that line.
gonna lie. I feel the same. Listen, I'm gonna feel the same way if one of the Saints players went over to the Falcons. That would just be treacherous. Like,
you're
it
like,
just
when we
be.
get
How would you feel if Cam Jordan?
No, whoa. See, this is what we're not going. This is about the Eagles and the Chiefs.
But it's an analogy, and it's the only way you're gonna understand, my man. Because you're gonna see it this offseason. Because we just brought in your co-defensive coordinator. He's gonna take everybody on your D line this offseason.
Yeah,
Davenport is gonna be a Falcon,
yeah, but he's bionic, man. He's always hurt.
but I don't want to. But the
He
point is,
he has like 10 good pass rushes through the season, and then he's
when
hurt
he
for the
has a
rest of
career
it.
renaissance in Atlanta,
And
you're
I would
gonna
be
on
mad,
here-
just like Trey
you're gonna be on here
Hendrickson.
Just like this.
Trey Hendrickson was banged up too, and then comes out of nowhere, goes to the Bengals, and now he's
Elite.
Like
top
Chauncey Gardner
15 pass
Johnson.
rusher. What'd you say?
Like Chauncey.
Y'all just find a way. Where there's a Lawrence, there is a way. Just talk about the Saints.
I would just continue in the conversation. You know, to feel involved. So.
What's going on with you, Zappy? You looking for another quarterback?
Hey, we got more wins, so that's too. I didn't tie a bet this year, so I'm just
I
saying.
hear you, man. All right, man. Listen.
To a point where I'm starting to think it was Tom Brady and not Bill Belichick.
Oh, it 100% was.
Yeah.
The man left and went to Tampa and won in year one.
He's that
Absolutely.
guy. He's that guy.
We miss him still.
That's what it is.
I don't know. Maybe it's time for a different QB. Time for something new.
What are you talking
in New England, and I also got to give Mac Jones the benefit of the doubt in having a terrible offensive coordinator with no weapons to give the ball to.
Yeah, you rarely do you see a player. There's like a video out of him apparently like just waving off the offensive coordinator, and then he went behind Bill Belichick's back to change the offense. Apparently,
No.
that's not what happened.
It was he was making calls to people like respected people in football. What could we do to be better? And Belichick didn't like it. But if I'm Belichick, I love that enthusiasm because Joe Judge stinks, Matt Patricia stinks. So at least my quarterback is trying to figure out what we can do to be better.
That's not the Patriot. That's not the Patriot way though.
It's like, let's take. I would say the two best coaches in the league right now. I can't say the two best because to me, Mike Tomlin is the second best coach in the league. But let's take the Andy Reid tree and how successful they are. Then let's take the Bill Belichick tree. Nobody says.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no, it dies after one
Yes.
branch.
Because genius can't be duplicated or shared.
No, it's got nothing to do with a genius because Belichick is not a great coach. Belichick is carried by Tom Brady. It's a known fact at this point. You look at Belichick pre-Tom Brady. He stunk. Even in New England when he had Drew Bledsoe, who at the time was the greatest QB in the league, he stunk and was on the verge of getting fired. And then Tom Brady came in and saved his ass. And then Tom Brady left, and what happened? I don't know how else we can paint this picture. Belichick is really not a good coach. He got bailed out by Tom Brady.
Damn.
Hey, it looks like
It is what it is.
Yes.
That's tough.
So can I ask you guys a question?
What's up?
What are your Super Bowl predictions?
I'm going a close
I'm
one.
torn. I'm very torn.
I'm going like
Honestly.
30-27 Kansas City.
That's funny as fuck. I got 31-27 Kansas City. 1 point out.
Well, we can just.
And I placed the bet for it.
I don't know, man. I think as we get closer, I don't know if I'm gonna put money on it, but I don't know. I've been going back and forth. I feel like the Chiefs. My heart is saying the Chiefs. Like that's what it's like. It's Pat Mahomes. He's here again, and
He has to win.
Well, and
yeah,
the
I don't want to say that, but I feel like at the same time, the Eagles could still really do crazy damage and really win this game.
well, 100. That's why I think it's a close game. I mean, we're picking it within a field goal, but I think it's also like I don't know if we want to overlooked is the wrong word, but it's like everybody didn't. I mean, obviously everyone overlooked the Eagles this year, but that it happened because how we saw them in the playoffs last year. But everyone came into this year with the Chiefs and were just like, oh, no Tyreek, they're not going to be that great at this season. And then all year they just kept producing, and it was like, well, the Bills are still better than them. And then when the Bills got eliminated, it's like, oh, well, now the Bengals are going to do it. And now when they took out the Bengals, it's like, oh, well, the Eagles have been the best team of football. So it's like you keep giving the Chiefs this chip on their shoulder.
I mean, also, we'll kind of find out who's going to win Saturday night when the awards come out. Because whoever wins MVP will most likely not win the Super Bowl the day after.
Well, Mahomes is going to win MVP. That's
we
know that.
Well, isn't there like a stat like the last 10 MVPs didn't win the Super Bowl that year? Something like
Well,
that.
it's also tough because they don't all always play in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
last year, the
that
MVP
too.
didn't play in the Super Bowl. The year before that, the MVP didn't play. I think the last time the MVP played in the Super Bowl is when Matt Ryan lost.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys, and it's more so not a homer pick, but obviously I'm gonna take the Eagles.
Yeah.
In a close
You
game,
should. I wouldn't have that pick.
I kind of see it being a 27-21 game. I think the total is going to be under that 50.5. But if I'm going to be honest with you guys, like knowing Andy Reid and growing up to the Andy Reid and McNabb era, Andy Reid in these big games, he's going to get you there, but I don't think he has the wherewithal to get you over it. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. Here in the city of Philadelphia, we love and hate McNabb. We love him because, he's arguably the greatest quarterback in franchise history. But every time a man got there, he choked. So it's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't type of thing. But with all that being said, this Chiefs team really reminds me of a throwback Eagles team back in the day, back in that early 2000s. Except for Like Mahomes is up here, and McNabb is down here.
Right.
That's the only difference. You know, his receivers aren't there. His best weapon is a tight end. For a while, you could say the Eagles' best weapon for a point in time was a tight end. When we didn't have Terrell Owens, you know, the best playmakers we had were Chad Lewis, Brent Selleck,
Brent Selleck was that dude.
and outside of Brian Westbrook. And you know, I kind of see the Eagles hedging it out at the end. It's going to come down to the Eagles doing what they've done all year, and that's dominate the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, eat the play clock, and keep Mahomes on the side.
The defense is going to be huge. Yeah.
Mahomes
right.
is off.
Yes, if you can keep Mahomes off the field, that's going to win the game. That man's on the field. And Philly's defense has been elite. I'm not taking anything away from them, but just Mahomes is just otherworldly. We're like, I don't think it matters who's on that defense.
No, there's a reason why I call Mahomes Lamb. He's the baby goat.
Yes, right.
That's a lot better.
You know,
He's special.
I don't care. I don't care who he has. I got to do whatever it takes to keep him on the sideline.
Yeah, I'm gonna listen. I might change this, but for me, I think it's gonna be 28-24 Eagles.
I break your guys' balls all the
Eagles.
time about the Eagles, especially you, Kenny. For some reason, I always break your balls with the Eagles.
It's a bird thing.
It is. I can't be. I'm not upset with you for picking the Kansas City.
I've
And
been
if the
reported.
City was to win this game, I wouldn't be upset. I wouldn't, because I lost to a person that I respect, is Land, and the best quarterback in the league right now. Like, to me, he's head and shoulders above everybody, and that's including Josh Allen.
Oh, that's not even. Listen, that's not a debate anymore. Like
We needed you in there weeks ago. Oh my God.
I mean, I'm sorry. I'm just you can't watch Mahomes.
Let me ask you something.
And say
Do you
anybody playing football right now that's on his level?
who do you? All right, so is Mahomes, and who do you have for second?
There's
Me,
a list of guys. I think it's like they're all in the same group.
A, B, C.
Or if it's 2A, 2B.
Just
Or
know
we
that
got a
it's
group of
Mahomes
guys.
here. I think that we all, and then like
yeah, Mahomes
we're
is.
coming down here. Like
I gotta say Mahomes is up here.
like we don't even put him in the same like. So
I gotta go Rodgers too, even though I'm not a Rodgers fan. I despise
Still
Aaron
putting
Rodgers.
still putting him up there.
I can't say Aaron Rodgers is overrated. Aaron Rodgers is not a winner in my eyes.
which
Nah,
was
it's
the same
just
thing we said about Peyton too. Like,
I think it's putting complete games together. I think that's the
but
thing
check it
for-
out though.
for him.
In reality, Rodgers' career is not that far off from Peyton Manning. If Peyton Manning doesn't go to Denver and get carried to the Super Bowls last year,
The defense.
He threw 100. He threw for like 120 yards. Or some shit like that.
so other than so he has 2 Super Bowls, but that one is like and Rodgers has one. So
He
Yeah,
was a pedestrian in that.
Von
game.
Miller was unworldly.
yes,
And if I'm gonna compare it to anything, if Jesus Christ, what? Oh my God, why am I drawing a blank? If Hassan Reddick can do what he did against San Francisco,
Oh,
That's
okay.
Von Miller.
I thought you was about to compare him. I
Lawrence
was about to say no. I'm done with the Reddit talk.
Well, when was the last time we seen a defensive end disrupt and cause that much wreck during a playoff run, the way Hassan Reddick is now? And I haven't seen it since Von Miller.
Not many.
I haven't really seen it since Von Miller. So I'm not comparing them. No, Von Miller's up here, Hassan Reddick is down here. But this playoff run, Hassan Reddick has been up here with Von Miller when Von Miller had that year where they won the Super Bowl.
How do you feel about?
He's a special player, man.
How do you feel about people calling it a Super Bowl run so far? Like the 2 games that got him there, like against the Giants and against a weekend San Fran team.
You play who's in front of you, right?
Respect.
You can't. If it was left up to the rest of the NFL, for some reason, there's this thing where, every 31 team, every 31 organizations in the league just has this thing against Philly. I don't know why. But I will say this, though. The game against the Giants, I don't know where the hell this was coming from, where Daniel Jones was DJ and the new Peyton Manning and all of that. I don't
Vanilla
know.
Vic.
Yeah, Vanilla Vic. I don't know where the hell that was coming
It's
from.
because Minnesota made him look so great because Minnesota stinks. That's what happened.
This whole thing with the Vikings, and if I can address Christian McCaffrey, even though they may never see this, Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk, I'll get to that in a second. But if this boy genius head coach wouldn't line up a tight end against a guy who now has 19 and a half sacks on the year, your quarterback is not getting out of here.
Yeah.
So don't blame us. Blame your head coach. Because this boy genius, for some reason, wanted Tyler Croft to block Hassan Reddick. Come on now. Come on.
And that's the name of the game. Like they're for our quarterback. Yeah, we know if your quarterback doesn't get hurt, but you would be, wrongfully so. But they would have been if they would have knocked out Jalen Hurts, they would have been celebrating. So what are they saying?
And can I just say, and if I could just point this out, last I checked, the Eagles didn't score 31 points on their offense. They scored 31 points against the best defense in the league. Fred Warner was planted on 2 feet as Jalen is standing there and Miles Sanders is running across the field for 2 touchdowns. What's number? Trevon Greenlaw, whatever his name is.
Dre Greenlaw.
Greenlaw is so frustrated that he's punching Kenneth Gainwell, trying to get the ball up.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't like
He
was punching at the ball, but it looked horrific. It looked bad.
It looked worse than what it is.
Yeah.
It looked worse than what it is. But at some point, the play's dead, bro.
That's very true, too. That's very true.
Lawrence, do me a favor. Pull up that person's top 5 in our thing.
Now, if I can just adjust the 40 whiners really stuck for a second.
The 40 whiners.
What did my man Travis Kelce say? Wait, I want to give it the Philly version real quick. Know your place and know your role, you fucking dickhead.
Oh, he did it. He said a remix.
Go back to your house, your game checks, your cars, all of that luxury stuff that you have. We'll see how you get. I see how far you get.
Wait. Whoa.
You saw that's why I said you gotta pull this up.
Okay, so
we asked who your top quarterbacks were, Dante, and this is what someone put in the comment section.
It's gonna look. Hold on, I gotta take this off real quick.
I could just read it if I had to.
It's gonna look ugly for real quick, but
I think that's absurd.
Okay, that's
again.
Oh damn!
I'm not. Again,
Listen. My thing with the Jalen Hurts.
I was about to say he's not off.
He's shown to be very good this season. He has a way to go. That's just the truth of it.
There could be no list where you have Aaron Rodgers 2 and Jalen Hurts 4, in my opinion, because if you have Aaron Rodgers 2, that means you're valuing the body of work. So how could you put Jalen at 4?
If there was anything I had to adjust, and matter of fact, since my brother's on here, happy birthday, bro. I love you. You've been my second father, the whole shebang. We're not
Happy birthday, man.
But that top 5 list, I can agree to it, but not in that specific order.
Rodgers 5. Right.
I'm not putting Hurts top 5 yet.
Prisoner of the moment.
Pat Mahomes is 1, obviously.
Yep.
I don't know.
Are we talking pure talent?
That's it. Yeah, that matters too. Just like Kenny said, if you're gonna put AR second, then you're valuing body of work at that point because this season his team was just all over the place.
That's what I'm saying. There could be no list where you have Hurts and Aaron Rodgers in your same top 5. That's my point. It's like because if you're saying body of work, obviously Hurts has not done enough to have the body of work yet to be up there.
Brady should have been up there.
And if you're saying this year, then you can't put Rodgers up there because he's stunk.
No. I think if we're so I get your point now. If we're gonna go based off of this year here, Rodgers is not top 5.
Right.
Yeah, that would be.
He's 6.
But this is a tricky question. It's a very tricky question. I don't know.
It's all about what category are you putting slapping on the top
Well,
five?
because here's the thing too. Like I look at that.
The primary question to me.
Right, because I mean, like Lamar, we're gonna leave Lamar out of this
You never
list
have
here.
Lamar as a top 5 quarterback.
Well, and he's on the fringe for me too. But again, if I'm gonna put Hurts in there, I can't put the guy who was a unanimous MVP and broke the league for a year and not have him on the list. If I'm putting Hurts on the list,
So yeah,
it's a tricky. You're
tough.
walking a fine line, but
Right.
Because it's gonna get to a point where we're getting to a point where the dinosaurs are leaving, and those group of guys, just like Kenny said, after number 2, it's a group of guys, and it's based on preference at that point, because they all haven't really. You got Joe Burrow, he's on the fringe of doing something great. You got Josh Allen, you got Jalen Hurts, Lamar,
and then if you
Herbert.
just want to look at, I'm sorry,
You
just
feel me?
raw
So it's
talent,
like-
Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence,
and you got
those guys haven't done anything yet.
Deshaun Watson's coming back. He only played 4 weeks.
I told you
So
I
it's
felt about
like-
Deshaun Watson though.
I'm just naming.
He's garbage time quarterback, bro. He puts up garbage time stats. He's great for fantasy football. He is not great if you want to win a Super Bowl.
Okay, so if the question is going to be who's the top five quarterbacks this year, okay, I would say Pat Mahomes is one for the simple fact that he lost his best weapon, the top 5 receiver in the league, and still was able to put up 5,000 yards and 40 touchdowns and take his team back to the Super Bowl. Number 2, obviously, to me, Jalen Hurts. People like Chris Sims who are saying that it's easy to be a Philadelphia quarterback. Okay, we missed 2 games.
He said that? Ooh.
And we went 0-2 and lost to your Saints, Lawrence.
Right.
Got that lick back. Yeah, stop playing, man. You know
Fight
what's
back,
going
yeah.
on.
Terrible. So, how can you sit there and say it's easy to be anybody can step in and be that quarterback for this team, but when a quarterback did step in, we went 0-2. And then he has the audacity to say, well, it was his first time playing. No, his first time playing was like 4 years ago with the Jaguars.
Right.
So
he actually was like
and this one, he was doing decent there too. He was doing decent.
Number
He was
3,
doing so decent, people didn't want them to draft Trevor Lawrence. Remember that? Remember that? Oh, we don't need Trevor Lawrence.
What was it? Minshew Mania.
Minshew Mania.
And it found its way down here too.
What'd you say?
It found its way down here too.
Oh man.
Right.
Before the season started,
He was out there. He was out there running for his
before
life
the
and
season
just.
started. Remember, I was telling you guys, I said, listen, like
Minshew
obviously we
Mania.
know Minshew ain't that guy, but there's gonna be some crazy ass Philly fans like, we don't want Jalen, we want Minshew.
No,
And it was a fact.
Last year, it got to a point where we were talking about benching Jalen for Minshew. It got to that point last year. It only
I was
got
like, this could be the worst thing.
The quarterback should be crazy, bro. It's just like, when people ask for a new guy, you know what you about to go through hell again when you want another guy in there. So it's like, I don't know.
And
You
then
guys obviously you guys found your guy as far as we know.
He tore up the Jets that week.
Because we've seen Eagles, they had their quarterback at one point in time that was MVP caliber, and then they asked for him to be shipped out. So hopefully history don't repeat itself.
Yeah, I hope so either. At least we know the quarterback up here, he has it. And honestly, I can't even say that Carson didn't have it up here because at one point we really thought he did.
I think he just lost his confidence.
I think he lost his confidence.
How could you be a confident man when you walk into the practice facility and have to walk past a statue of the backup quarterback winning the Super Bowl, and then walk into that locker room where your teammates have a shrine of the backup quarterback and have your teammates doing interviews saying, yeah, we think Foles should get a shot? How could you be confident? I couldn't.
You
That's true.
can't. And then I feel like the biggest factor with leaving out all of this is that he went 3 years in a row with injuries.
Yeah, that too.
The year when
I remember that Rams game. The Rams game was the game that he was literally about to take the number 1 in MVP. Went to go run off the right hash to go for the fucking touchdown and destroy his knee.
And here's his knee. Here's the
And that
helmet.
was a wrap.
then the following year was the broken back.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Then the following year was the concussion against the Seahawks.
And then that's
And it blows my mind. It blows my mind because there was no narrative when that happened. But Brock Purdy, for some reason, people have a thing of wanting to come to Philly and put a jersey over our Rocky statue. And you want to sit there and chant Brock. Okay, that's cute, guy. That's
There's all L's right after.
Okay, now you can get the little Disney story out of here. That's fine. That's cute. But everybody, national media-wise, felt so bad for San Fran that they didn't have a quarterback. Well, where was that narrative when Carson Wentz got power drive by Jadeveon Clowney against the Seahawks? There was no narrative. But I'm just gonna keep.
All right, man. I'm gonna get into some stats that I put together to show the offensive and defensive rankings for each team here in the Super Bowl.
Cheat sheet for the parlay. Here we go.
Said cheat sheet for nah, it ain't that. But it's just the per game stats. That's all. Some light.
Let's see what we got.
All right. So 2022 Philadelphia Eagles for offensive rating, they are tied for first right now with the team that they're going to be playing. I don't know how that would happen, but that's what they say in our
28.7 exactly. Damn.
Yeah, it's probably off by a little bit. They probably just kept it the same since it was 0.7. But you got yards per game. They got 384.2. They're third in the league for yards per game. And obviously, we know they run the hell out of the ball. They're top 5 in running the ball at pretty much 154 passing yards per game. They're 12th at 230, and they're top 5 in giveaways on offense. And they give 1 per game, which is good. Unlike some other teams that are in gold and black. Give the ball.
And you know what?
That's how personal.
What'd you say?
I feel like the pass yards per game could be ticked up higher if, when it came down to the fourth quarter and we weren't blowing out so many teams, that we just put Gardner Minshew in the game.
Yeah, that probably put you into that.
I'm not going to say
8 to 10 range, maybe.
Maybe 10.
Yeah, that should. Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah, that should put you top 10 at least.
I can't go anything higher than 9. I can't.
And then defensive rating, takeaways. We obviously know y'all got one of the best defenses in
Big
the league
play
this year.
Slay.
At pretty much every level this year. One area that y'all were lacking in over the years, and you kind of got a tackle machine in Edwards. He's playing lights out. He's always flying around every game when I did watch him this season. And then you guys allow 18.8 points per game. That's top 5 in the league. And then yards per game against teams, man, number 1, the best in the league. Then you got pass yards, number 1 pass defense in the league as far as yards go. And then one thing that I found interesting too was the sack percentage. Pretty much 11.5%.
Saxonville.
He said Saxonville. And then you guys are middle of the pack in stopping the run.
Yeah,
which is going to be interesting though because Kansas City. This is the same situation when Kansas City played Tampa years ago, and their offensive line was dog water at that time. It's gotten better now, but pretty much Tampa was like daring them, like run the ball on us. We'll give you the run, and they wouldn't do it. So I'm curious to see if they're going to change it and run the ball.
Just to add on to that, Kenny, a lot of it has to do with Andy Reid.
Yes, no, that's his game. Is always, I'm not running the ball.
Reason Andy Reid just doesn't run the ball
at all.
Running backs are receivers.
I'm just wondering now if like
maybe land at risk, dropping him back 50 times. When you don't have to do that.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm wondering if like. I don't know. Mahomes had to talk with him. I was like, "Listen, coach, like,
we're not doing what you did to me when we played Tampa. That's not happening again. This defense is better than that.
Right?
Than that defense.
If they're going to give us some time to run the ball, we're going to run the ball.
Pacheco right now, man, for when he gets the ball, and I didn't know his speed was like the way it was because he was taking off in that last game, man.
Kid runs hard. Off. Kid is good.
Like even screenplay. Like, okay, Andy, you don't want to run the screenplay. Like, do something. They don't all have to be home run balls.
See, that's where I think, and a lot of people are more so focused on Pacheco, and now that Clyde Edwards-Helaire was now activated off IR, they're like, oh my, and this is just within the talk of Philadelphia.
Mhm.
It's, oh my God, Hilaire's back. He might be the difference maker.
He might not even be active on Sunday.
No, guys,
Yeah.
I thought they forgot about him, to be honest.
And didn't he go on? Wait, didn't he go on IR twice this season?
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't know.
Well,
Yeah,
he was definitely hurt at least twice. He went on IR twice,
yeah.
but he was hurt and then he definitely went on
The
IR.
one guy that's
I
gonna
don't know, I
make
feel like he did.
terrifies me,
McKinnon.
McKinnon.
because if you guys pay attention, and Andy Reid did this here in Philly. That's what separated Brian Westbrook to being that hybrid back. Is that
Mhm.
Andy Reid is gonna dial up a lot of screen passes.
Yep.
And
McKinnon's no slouch, man.
huh?
I said McKinnon's no slouch.
Before he blew out his knee, he was about to be the number one in San Fran.
two injuries from being. He was about to be that guy too. He's gonna be that guy.
McKinnon in that pass game, man. He's just those are my two. Those are the two guys. Well, 2 out of the 3 guys that I'm worried about for Kansas City's offense. Number 1 is obviously Pat Mahomes. 2 is Travis, but 3 is Jet. Like his wherewithal as a passing back is A1.
And when they get in the red zone and they put McKinnon out there with Kelsey, like you don't know which one. Like one of them is getting the ball, but you don't know which one.
And it's always some crazy ass route he does. Like he'll run like a halfback swing, and then it turns into a slant, and then you got Mahomes flicking it to him like on a shovel pass or something crazy. But Andy Reid's super creative. On the flip side, man, we got the Kansas City Chiefs this season.
Yeah, these are the stats I really wanted to see.
What'd you say?
These are the stats I really wanted to see.
Oh yeah. Offensive rating for them this season, they're obviously tied with the Eagles, 28.7 yards per game. They lead the league this year.
Can we just
408.
acknowledge
What's up?
that this man put up 408 yards on offense after the world tried telling me he lost Tyreek Hill and he wasn't going to be good anymore? Like, can we just all take a minute to look at those? Like, what?
Pass yards per game, 295, number 1 in the league. Rush yards per game is 114, 21st in the league. They don't run the ball that much. Giveaways, they're 12th at 1.3. Takeaways, they're 1.3 on defense, 19th. Pretty much middle of the pack, man, and probably lower in the defensive side of things. And then they got a good sack percentage, the top 5 in that category.
Chris Jones.
They do a good job at stopping the run too. They're 8th this season, but obviously they haven't faced anybody of this caliber of running the rock too.
That's why it's going to be fun because
Yeah.
the Eagles' strength has been their pass defense, looking at the numbers at least, and then their strength has been their run defense, and that's both the teams like knockout points.
Yeah.
And that's for me as an X's and O's man who can care less about these numbers, even though they are intriguing. They're intriguing. They're interesting.
Still got to play that game though.
But the X's and O's to me are much more in football than these numbers. And if I'm Jonathan Gannon, you know what? I'm going to line up with Maddox, Slay, and Bradbury against your top 3 receivers. Beat me.
It is, as I say, it is a known fact. Obviously, the pressure of that one game, you can look at the Bucs game to say, hey, this is the formula to beat them. But in their defense, they had no linemen. It was like it was a saloon door. Like it was open season on them. But I will say this:
for 500 yards in the backfield.
Most time, whenever Mahomes and the Chiefs get in trouble is when teams do too high, and they literally just sit 2-man or cover 2, and it wreaks havoc. They don't really like too high. But
it's not like that anymore. That's how it was when they had Tyreek, because their whole offense was
he can
kind
push,
of configured
so it's
around
gonna be different.
trying
That's
to
different
take
now.
the top off. Now it always was, but now really Kelsey is okay. I'll dump it down to you. Juju's also a big body receiver. I'll give it to Jerick McKinnon. Like, okay, maybe I'll MVS go down the field once in a while, but I don't need him to take the top off my offense to be good.
Right.
But see, that's the thing with Kansas City, though. They're so predictable. they tend to become so predictable during a point in the game to where my 5-year-old daughter can sit there and say, "Yeah, Daddy, he's gonna pass the ball." For some reason, Andy Reid just doesn't believe in running the ball. And as a man that came up under Holmgren in an era where everything was to run the ball, and we've even seen it. We've seen Andy Reid get triggered, like really, really trickery with his play calling. But when we look at the history, they were doing that 100 years ago when the league first came upon these run plays. So as to where Andy Reid is, and again, it goes back to when he was here in Philly. Like he's come so predictable, and since Jamal Charles has left, they haven't found his replacement. So where they don't have that dynamic duo to run the ball, pass the ball as a run. They don't have that hybrid like Jamal Charles was. So
Jamal Charles, man, that was
honestly,
that was one of my idols, man. That boy
was that dude. He was him. Jamal Charles was him.
He would go on games and get 5 TDs, bro. He was just doing video game shit.
If we can all testify and be honest with one another, does anybody on that receiving core of Kansas City really scare you? If you're
no.
Nah, they don't.
We counting Kels?
No, he's. I mean,
Mine himself.
Catchers.
Oh
yes.
no.
If you say receivers, no.
I do not listen. Me personally, I do not like Juju. I just never liked him. I like him.
Juju as a number 2. I've always liked him as a number 2.
I didn't like him with the whole Steelers shit. I don't like him now. I think he's just like, and he's getting more injuries, and his game is already like at speed and everything's already limited as is. Now you're getting more injuries. It's gonna be
I think he works in an offense like where he was in Pittsburgh, where you have AB to do everything else, and you're just going to be the inside guy. That's why I mean, it worked out for him.
Don't get me wrong, still a solid option. Option. I'll say that.
Like it was weird to me though that Kansas City actually wanted him, just because to me he plays the role that Travis Kelce plays. You know, like he's not taking the top off of anybody's offense.
Yeah. He's a big body possession receiver.
Yes. Which is what Travis Kelce is. He's not tight.
All right, so Phil.
Big body possession.
So Phil, listen, you got the Chiefs, right? What are one or two keys to victory for the Chiefs since you got the Chiefs, man?
Well, probably that run game as well, because everyone's expecting the Chiefs to throw all around because that's what they're best at. But Pacheco, McKinnon, got to get the run game going, open up the offense, because if you pass everything, it's going to be way too predictable. Also, stopping the run on the other side of the Eagles. You got Sanders, Gainwell, Boston Scott. Well, I'm seeing a lot of, Boston Scott TD props out there, so be aware of that. You got to stop him on the run.
I seen Kenneth Gainwell MVP.
Y'all got to stop him.
Don't take it anytime TD with Boston Scott. It ain't work.
He's not.
Only against the Giants. Only against the Giants.
It's not feel good time. It's winning time.
And you know what? They're not even the Giants anymore. They're the midgets.
Basically, like you said on the graphics, Eagles, great run. We got to stop that somehow. Not we, but in general.
He said, "I'm about to bet on. I'm about to suit up out there." Man, what about you, Kenny? You picked the Chiefs. Well, you have no choice.
I have no choice. Yeah. So for background, before the season started, I put my futures bet on the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. So I have no choice but to go with the Chiefs. Like we needed to go against them.
Yeah, I think me and Kenny in a preseason prediction show, we both picked the Chiefs. So
listen, I wouldn't even care about the prediction at this point.
Yeah,
the money is what I care about. But so for me, the X factor is the team doctor and how much he's going to shoot up Patrick Mahomes' ankle this weekend. That is the key to this game, because Patrick, I mean, he's not going to be at 100%, but he's going to be better than he was 2 weeks ago, I'd imagine. And apparently, from what I heard listening to our podcast, Mahomes refused to get his ankle shot up before the last game, and the theory behind it was he wanted to be able to feel the pain so that if it got bad, he would sit himself so he wouldn't get worse for the Super Bowl. The fact that he's now in the Super Bowl, he can get shot up, and it doesn't matter if he makes it worse. So that is the key to this game, is how many drugs Patrick Mahomes will be on in the Super Bowl.
Oh, also, I think got to keep an eye on Pacheco as well.
What? He's injured?
No, I was gonna say just like in general. Like I think
Oh,
we know Kelsey's gonna be the number one playmaker on the Chiefs, but the question is who's gonna be the number two in case he gets bottled up. And I think it's gonna be Pacheco with the way he's been playing in the playoffs. So
I don't think so though, because if Kels gets bottled up, that means that they're trailing, so they're not going to run the ball. It's going to have to be MVS or Juju. I get what you're saying,
Yeah.
but if they're bottling up Kelsey, that means the Eagles are winning the game, and you cannot be handing the ball off if you're losing.
somehow, some way, it's the likelihood of it happening is very slim.
Hey,
But 50-50 balls with the DBs for the Eagles, which is gonna be tough. What's up?
I want to say one thing real quick, bro. Kenny, Kansas City could be up 20 and they're still going to pass the ball.
No, that's a fact too. That's 100% a fact.
He said, "I'm gonna let you finish, but
no, you're right. But I just go like what Phil was saying. He goes, he said if they bottle up Kelsey, which like yeah, but if they bottle up Kelsey, that means the Chiefs aren't winning. Like that's just
Right.
that's how it's going to go.
No,
If
you're
they're
right.
losing-
I mean,
if they're losing. We ain't gonna say, "Oh, here you go, Pacheco." No, it's gonna be Pat. Find someone else. Throw it. Let's get Watson out there. Let's get Camp out there. Someone make a play.
yeah, MVS.
What about Dante? What you obviously got the Eagles. You got right with the hometown. What's keys to victory for you? A few.
I said them earlier. Dominate time of possession with that offensive line. Run the ball. Well, pass to take the lead. Run to win the game. And
You guys in time of possession.
huh?
I think time of possession. You guys are 8th in the league. I think that was
Time
what
of
it said.
possession.
Yeah, you guys are
Has to take
excluding
the lead.
OT. I don't think you guys went to OT this season anyway. But you guys are 8th ranked in this season of time of possession.
And the number one key is keep Mahomes on the side.
Ask Buffalo. Ask any other team.
Yeah, I'm torn between the two. I think I can see 28. I can see 28-24 Eagles. I think me personally, I just think it's gonna be a really good game. I'll be really disappointed if it is a blowout either way. I don't expect that though. I think the teams are way too talented for that. Coaching is probably well prepared. But keys to victory for me, if I pick the Eagles, it's gonna be the trenches, man. The trenches they've dominated. That's football in itself.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference between every level that you play at. If you from Pee Wee to high school to modified to college, D1, D2, D3 is always the trenches. Trenches forever. You guys got the O line, you got the D line. You led the league and the whole unit. I think it was probably 4 to 6 players deep. You had the most sacks. So it was like you had how many players had 10 plus sacks? I think 5.
4.
4. Okay.
4.
I thought it was 5 or 6, but I was giving a little bit too much credit. If it was 6, they would have been tested for PEDs.
No, it could have been 5, but I think Fletcher fell too short. I think Fletcher fell 8 on the year, but it was too short.
So I think it's gonna be the trenches, man. And flip side too, you got the Chiefs. I think it's gonna come down Mahomes, and those guys that people think that don't matter, winning those plays when they get the opportunity to get the ball. That's gonna make the difference for the Chiefs. Like MVS, you got
Watson.
Is Hardman? Hardman's out.
He's on IR. He's out for the year.
He's out for the year, so he's been super banged up too. I think that was his second time going on IR too.
But let me be honest with you, that doesn't make a difference to me just because he hadn't played since October anyways.
Well, I was just talking about as far as the middle of the pack guys, the receivers and things like that.
Me, I kind of feel McCole Hardman doesn't scare me, but it makes me feel better that he's not playing because the fact that I've seen quite a few times Bradbury and Smith did get burned by some speed.
Yeah.
So, they are up there. They are older in age, and they're not going to be able to hang with the fastest in the league like they possibly once used to or able to. So, McCole Hardman, his speed not being there definitely does take a little bit of angst off of that there and not be getting burnt down the field.
Yeah, we might see some miracles. We might see Quez Watkins with 2 TDs. We might see MVS with 2 TDs or something crazy. Something on either side. Somebody third, fourth receiver gonna probably do something special. That's my opinion.
And you know,
Watch out for that
I
Watson.
happening too because
Watson? Oh.
He always seems to make play,
Like
like even all year when you would watch games, like the ball goes down the field and you see a big white dude catching it. Oh, that's Kelsey, and they're like Justin Watson. And it's like who? Like what?
Oh man. But listen, man, we about to get up out of here though. Any last words? I'm just excited for the game. As a football fan, we get the number one from both sides.
Yes, like that's what's
colliding. You got all this talk about who's really the best team, da da da.
Yes, no matter who wins this one, like we know, like if the Chiefs beat the Eagles, they got the NFC's best shot. If the Eagles beat the Chiefs, they got the AFC's best shot. There shouldn't be any questions like, oh well, if such and such made it, we wouldn't be in this situation. Like, no, these are the two best teams that I have.
Bro, you can be honest, bro. You're talking about the 49ers.
Yeah.
I've never heard a franchise this damn whiny and sad that they lost.
But I was going to say, especially if the older fans too, they used to winning and all that. Obviously, that time isn't there anymore. But they went to when they go to the Super Bowl, 2017, 20.
Yeah, but then they lost when they won against the Chiefs.
Yeah,
yeah. 2018, wasn't it? Or 2019? 2018.
It was like 3 years ago. It was when the Chiefs won.
Because I think it was the year after the Eagles won.
No, the following year was the Patriots and the Rams.
It was Patriots, Rams, and then it was the Chiefs and Niners.
Okay.
And then it was
Bucks.
The Bucks, and then last year's
Bucks. Yeah, okay. Oh. Phil, any last words, man, before we get up out of here?
Little bit of a Wi-Fi mistake to end the show. My Wi-Fi was working like the Brooklyn Nets front office, so I apologize on that. So my bad. But hey, it's a fun NFL season. I'm not the biggest NFL guy, but hey, I know everyone else is, and I love sports as a whole, all sports. So, but hey, NBA basketball time after this week is here, so I'm excited for that as well.
He says that as he didn't get to just grow up and just complete happiness of just winning Super Bowls as a fan.
Yeah, he's saying that front runner.
They were off years, obviously.
What off years?
But it was
what off years? No, wait. In your lifetime, what off years have you had as a Patriot fan other than since Tom Brady left? What were your off years?
I got to feel great.
Matt Castle.
The 1 year you guys won 11-5.
We didn't win a Super Bowl.
Oh, that's real bad, Lawrence. Because you didn't win a Super Bowl. That's an off year.
Philip, you listen to me, and you listen to me good right now. Your small time frame of life, you see more championships with one organization.
Right.
My father has seen in his 65 years of life.
That's what I'm saying. Like we had off years. Well, he could point to the 1 year that his all-time great quarterback got his knee blown out.
Phil,
and they still won 11-5.
Phil, there's gonna be teams. There's gonna be somebody for their kids is gonna see a team and be a fan of them, and their team's never gonna make it to the Super Bowl or win it.
And
that's the thing.
I've seen some down years.
Yeah,
that Castle year when we went 11-5.
Hey, if it's not Super Bowl, it's an off year.
Bro, I had to watch the Falcons play quarterback with Joey Harrington, Chris Redmond, and Byron Leftwich because my QB was fighting dogs. I don't want to hear about the down
premium Pain 93. Listen.
I watched Byron Leftwich throw the ball to the stand.
I'm about to go back. I'm about to go back into the dungeon. Like right now, I'm already there. Like I don't know when my team's gonna win again.
Hey, I'm in the same boat as of right now. So.
What about you, Dante? Any last words, man?
Go Birds. I say 27-21. Eagles. That's what I got for that. And then the NBA, LeBron to the GOAT. And
oh my goodness, you're what is this? Hold on. Is that his mic?
Hold on, say again?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yep. Who's okay? I don't know what that was. It was like robotic for a second.
Neil.
Yeah, as far as LeBron is the GOAT and the Sixers are not going to the championship again this year. So
Oh, what else is new?
Yeah,
Oh.
trust the process like that.
At least you guys don't have Ben
That's
Simmons.
no. It blows my mind that these guys blew up the entire organization. Started this whole process where I had to go 7 years of my life.
Believing.
No, not even because I didn't believe.
But he had to put up with it. What else am I supposed to do?
And this whole, you had 2 back-to-back first-round picks, and Fultz and Simmons.
They're the same guy.
What happened with them?
Thanks for the trade, by the way.
Full type hooping now after off his injury. He's playing
Yeah, but he's the
decent
same
right
guy. He ain't got no jump shot. Broken.
He's not playing as a number 1 pick.
Thanks for the false trade. Appreciate it.
Okay,
now.
Yeah.
this guy Ben Simmons, who was traded to Brooklyn, quit on the franchise, and then painted this whole narrative that it was people like me. It was my fault. It was my fault. You're 6'11" and you had 6'2" Trae Young.
Hey, listen.
Pass the ball.
He said, "Why you say fuck me for?"
Hey, listen. Hey, listen. I'm gonna say this. Listen, that's not the first time a pro athlete in that window going out of there for fan madness. You got people saving people from burning buildings and sending shade to Nelson Aguilar. It's madness over there in Philly.
We just call it as it is, bro.
So,
we just being real with it.
No, my point
real.
is saying that there's validity to it. So it's not like he's just making the story up. Like Nelson Aguilar is like, I gotta get out of here.
No, the thing, when Nelson Aguilar kind of took that step back, when we kind of realized, okay, he's not a number 1 receiver or a number 2, that was the best year of his career. So
No, he's a Patriot.
he got drafted with this expectation, and it's the same thing with Jalen Reagor. Jalen Reagor blows my mind, like dude.
Oh, Jalen Reagor was close. He was going to be on the next burning house of somebody getting saved.
And you get the narrative about yourself that you're gonna do this, do that, and then you get hurt. Okay, cool, we support you through it, and we back you up, and you come, you don't do shit, and then you want to post these motivational tweets that you want to go back and forth with a Twitter troll and think that narrative. I'm not a Twitter troll. I don't.
All right. Well, no, I was gonna say, we don't want to get you going back in the past. Look into the future, bro. Your team about to play for the Super Bowl. You don't need to be looking back to 2017, 2018. What's up?
Fans like me, when Ben Simmons is over there in Brooklyn, doing God knows what. Jalen Reagor, I think he's
getting outside by Cam Thomas. That's what he's doing. That's what Ben Simmons is doing.
Jalen Reagor this year had 8 catches for 104 yards in 17 games and at least 3 fumbles. And who else did we talk about?
Aguilar, but he's like
Aguilar has turned into a bounce around receiver, bouncing around the league here and there. So I don't know if it's me.
He's on his third. He played all right with the Raiders though.
Yeah,
I mean,
that first year he left, he played decent.
He's acknowledged what he is.
Yeah.
I'm a guy that comes in here. You know, if you need a bridge guy, call me up. You need a franchise guy.
He not a save the receiving core guy.
No, he's good. So like, if you got young guys, like that's the bet I want in the room. That's it. But that's the point. He's
over here who have traded and mortgaged their entire future, win a championship now, and we have nothing to show for it. Hold on.
Sounds like Brooklyn.
Player and our number 3 scorer, the third best player on the team is disgruntled, and he's so overly paid that if you try to move him, you can't get anything in return.
Yeah, you're talking about Tobias.
Tobias to J. Cole?
Tobias. The one that got killed by Bo Cruz?
I don't think he wants to be here.
He was the same ever since Boban left.
All right, man. We about to get up out of here.
I didn't get any last words.
I'm about to say,
I thought you did.
No, I didn't get to my ode to LeBron.
My fault. That's for that shit stuff.
My bad, y'all.
He said, cut him off.
No, you're good, bro.
He said around the horn. You get no last words.
The day after I watched my GOAT break the craziest record in the sport. You're
Talk
gonna tell
to
me
him.
I can't talk?
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. My fault.
No, I want the world to understand what we witnessed last night, because people act like this was just like,
My parlay.
oh, whatever, the team still lost, or oh, of course he's supposed to break this record. Look how long he's playing. Oh, he played in a soft era. If it were that easy, then more people would have done it. Like, there is a reason why this record lasted for so long. There is a reason why Michael never got this record. There is a reason why Kobe never got this record. There's a reason why Shaq never got this record. Because it's not easy to do. It doesn't matter.
You got people sharing fake Michael Jordan quotes.
You're missing one more that I heard today.
Who? Oh, AI? Allen Iverson?
No.
That one too.
He only wanted to break the record. He didn't care about the game.
Yeah, he didn't care about the game. He had to break the record to try to win the game, and then his foot literally exploded on him, and he couldn't play on it anymore. So, but yeah, you're right. He just wanted to break the record. The guy has never even talked about this record until it was dated thing.
Anthony Davis had 13 points in that game.
And if I got to hear one more time too, because people keep clipping his little quote from Shaq and when other reporters were asking him about, "I'm the greatest to ever play this." They asked him. You can go back and watch.
Shaq was begging him to say it too.
Don't read the quote.
Last night he said it. Last night he said it.
He did it because Shaq asked him.
He kept asking him.
And he goes, that's barbershop talk for other people. And Shaq says, no, I want you to say it. Yep. I want you to say it. So he said it. So people keep saying, oh, if you're the greatest, you don't have to say it. You're right, you don't. But when people keep pestering you and asking you, you're going to answer it. And
he already said it before.
Let's say LeBron says, oh, I'm not the best. Then what are they going to say? Oh, see, the guy don't even believe in himself. It's a lose-lose situation. The guy's the greatest we've ever seen do it. Shut up. I'm sorry. It's 2023. Michael Jordan was great. He was phenomenal. I never watched him. I was a baby when he was playing, okay? All I know is that the best guy he played against was Karl Malone and John Stockton, and if they played today, they'd be the 25th and 26th best player in the league. So shut it up. LeBron James is the greatest. Mic drop. Done. End the podcast.
Until Jason Tatum, gets out there for good.
Tatum's not doing that.
Well, we'll see.
Tatum can play for 25, and he's not doing that.
Cam Thomas might break it in 20. Who knows? No.
He's gonna hit a wall. He's gonna hit a wall so hard.
The Jordan lovers just gotta stop it. Like, statistically, LeBron is the greatest of all time. Yeah. And then they want to bring up rings, like, oh, he's 6-0. Okay, well, guess what? There's a guy that has 11 rings. If you want to discuss rings, Bill Russell.
I was about to say nobody. Yeah, that's the thing, bro. It's just like.
And then when you say that, they go, I can't take you seriously if you're going to bring Bill Russell up. Well, why not? If your argument is that Jordan has more rings, then that he has to be in the conversation.
There's no my thing. Kenny already knows this.
You got to set the criteria.
Just acknowledgement of just greatness is that's all. That's all I ever talk about. Like, you can argue all day who you think about the best is. Like, no matter what the age group is. Some kids may say Kobe. There's gonna be people that say Giannis or Luka are the best players ever. Eventually. Right. That's what's going to happen. There's going to be Braun. I didn't watch Braun play. Braun didn't do it.
Did you see the video that went viral of this basketball dude asking a bunch of kids who's Melo? Yeah. And he's asking.
And it was LaMelo. He's talking about LaMelo.
Right. Everyone's like, oh, yeah, Carmelo Anthony's what? Well, you asked 10-year-old kids. Yeah. Like, what do you mean? Like, what do you want?
Lauren, not everybody's going to be a historian. They're not going to be a historian of the game.
At 10 years old, if you would have asked me who's MJ, I mean, I probably would have because I loved Space Jam as a kid. But like your average 10-year-old kid might not know who MJ was.
Yeah. But man, listen, shout out to Braun. Shout out to all the
Marjon Beauchamp.
All the greats in sports, man. Shout out to Tom Brady too. He's finally done. He broke every single record in football as a quarterback, so it's like.
And we acknowledge he's the greatest of all time, but when LeBron breaks every record, he's still not. Okay, sorry, I'm not sour or anything.
Nah, I think listen. This is my personal thing.
He's gonna finish with 40K, and then he has 10K assists, 10K rebounds. But he's not the best ever. He's not the best. This
dude.
Jordan.
You know what I think it is. You know what I really think it is. There's nothing they can say about him off the court to throw dirt on his name, because you look at all the other players. There is something that you can say about them, and you can't say nothing about Braun. So they have to attack.
People don't like change. people don't like to admit they're wrong. So one, you could have thought that MJ was better, but LeBron has now gotten better. So you can say
11 basketball seasons here. We're talking.
But then
like
now they just don't like change. Like
Yeah,
it's okay to admit that like I watched basketball in the 80s and the 90s and MJ dominated, but now in 2023 LeBron's better, but they can't do that because
in like 30 or 40 years, might get a new go too.
It does something to like them, like like people who have never even sniffed the NBA. Like I don't know, if they acknowledge that someone from 2023 is better than someone who played in the 90s. Like it does something to their ego for some reason.
Right.
So I don't know. That's what
records is meant to be broken. Game is supposed to be changed.
not this one.
It's supposed
Ain't
to,
no
it's
one
supposed
breaking
to,
this one.
oh yeah, the game is supposed to evolve and everything like that.
The thing
What'd you say?
like Kenny said, the thing that kills me the most is when people say, "Well, Jordan was in the league for 20 years." Okay, well, it's LeBron's fault. He took care of his body.
Thank you. What are we saying here?
Also,
All right,
wait. One more thing. One more thing. LeBron James is also our athlete of the day over on the IBTE socials. So
Man, come on with this, cutting us off to tell us.
Oh no! And this is the last thing. We can really go in on this thing. This one kills me.
So watch the Wizards, MJ.
This one, no, this is the number. This is the number one. This is the number one on the list. It has to be number one for everybody for just blasphemy when it comes to Braun's resume. He doesn't have killer instinct. That is such a lie. There's no. It's not even possible.
I will leave you with this. Because and then if I'm coming down the lane, if your superstar is coming down the lane, and three guys collapse on him, and he has a wide open shooter in the corner.
It's not killer instinct.
Do you want him to go up on three, or dish it out to the wide open guy who's a good 3-point shooter?
What would Kobe do?
I'll leave you with that.
Like that's why I say Cam. That's why I say Cam Thomas is going to be a joke because he just shoots on 4 people every play. He does he has people wide open and he dribbled for 7 turnovers in a row. In the game, they were leading by 2, and then they lost the game by like 4, I think. But at one point, it went up to 12 with like 3 minutes left when he could have just passed it to teammates. Right. Like that's killer instinct.
I'll get off the soapbox now, but you guys know where I stand. This is how I'm coming this season.
Check out us on Twitter Spaces right after this. No,
Twitter Spaces. We're transitioning to NBA next season. Dante, we appreciate you for joining us. We're definitely we got to have you on it. You watch basketball, right,
bro?
You watch
basketball? Go off about the
Sixers.
Obviously, but like I'm saying the totality though, like. Yeah. Because listen, man, I've been doing a lot of homework in the NBA. I'm over here watching the Thunder and Magic nightly.
What?
Like,
Who
says
that in the same sentence?
Phil, I'm ready. Phil, I'm ready. I can't listen. I did a lot of homework this season.
There's one thing I have to admit, and I don't think many Sixers fans will admit this. Embiid is not clutch, and he's not a closer.
Who?
Embiid is not clutch, and he's not a closer.
Yeah.
All right, we going on an hour and a half, fellas.
All right, yeah, we up out of here. We up out of here.
We got a tanning ceremony.
Make sure y'all sub to the channel. Make sure y'all sub to the channel. Inspired by True Events Network. Inspired by True Events Sports. Listen, follow everybody's ad. Phil's got his ad here. I got my ad. Kenny's got his ad. You know what's going on, man. Listen, shout out to the Eagles. Shout out to the Chiefs. We're gonna have a hell of a game. Hopefully, nobody gets blown out. And I kind of want the Eagles to win, and I kind of don't want to, because then I gotta hear all the group chats go crazy and everything like that, because it was crazy over the past 2 weeks. I'm not gonna lie.
Just satisfy us and agree with us, bro. That's what you gotta do.
What'd you say?
To stop it, satisfy us and to just agree with us.
Just step to the side.
Step to the side and keep it pushing.
All right, man. We appreciate y'all. Catch y'all. Y'all listen. Have a good Super Bowl weekend. Shout out to Kenny too. He the GOAT, man. We back. What was this 3rd year in a row?
What?
For the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
All right, man. We up out of here. Peace.